Okay, let's go.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful framework from the legend himself, Jim Rohn, all about how you can actually achieve what you're truly capable of. So let's just start with a question that Jim Rohn used to ask all the time, because honestly, it gets to a feeling so many of us have, right? That feeling that there's more in the tank, more you could be doing, but something's just holding you back. And Rohn's answer to that feeling? Well, it's surprisingly simple. He says the key isn't being smarter or having more raw talent. Nope. The one thing that really separates the folks who succeed from those who stay frustrated is just the discipline to show up, day in and day out.
Okay, but if it's really that simple, why is being consistent so incredibly hard? I mean, we all know it, right? So let's break down that core challenge, this resistance that we all feel on the inside.
And this is where we get the key shift in perspective from Rohn's work. See, he argues that consistency, it isn't some personality trait you're either born with or you're not. No way. It's a skill. It's a muscle. And what does that mean? It means that with the right training, anyone, and I mean anyone, can build it. This really illustrates that internal battle we fight every single day, doesn't it? Our brains, they're hardwired to seek comfort, to conserve energy. They want the path of least resistance. But real, meaningful achievement, that requires us to fight that programming, to push past that feeling of, I don't wanna, and to intentionally choose the harder path, because that's where the reward is.
All right, so if consistency is a muscle, the big question is, how do we actually build it? Well, lucky for us, Rohn lays out a super powerful three-part framework to do exactly that.
Yep, the whole system for building this kind of unbreakable discipline, it really comes down to these three fundamental pillars. Let's break them down. Pillar number one is your why, your purpose. And this is so crucial. Rohn says it's not about gritting your teeth and using willpower. It's about having a deep, burning reason, a really compelling why that literally pulls you forward, especially on those days when your motivation just completely tanks.
Okay, pillar number two is all about accountability. Because let's be real, it is way too easy to let ourselves off the hook. Rohn really stresses this point. When you bring in a trusted circle, whether that's a mentor, a coach, a supportive friend, or a whole group, it just makes it so much harder to quit on yourself and slip back into those old habits.
And finally, pillar number three. This is where the rubber really meets the road. It's your action system. This is all about building a tangible, rock-solid routine that you can rely on no matter what life throws at you, especially on those days where you just don't feel like doing anything.
So let's dive a little deeper into that system now and really look at the most practical, actionable part of this whole framework, how to build habits that actually stick.
And the process Rohn lays out for this, it's just beautifully simple. Step one, start small. Like, really small. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. Step two, make it easy. You want to remove any and all friction that stands in your way. And step three, stack your new habit onto a routine you already have, something you do without even thinking about it. And here's what that actually looks like in the real world. You can see how this works. The whole point here, the really crucial thing to get, is that you're not relying on motivation anymore. Motivation is fickle. Instead, you're engineering your environment. You're setting things up so that being consistent is actually the easiest option. Okay, so this all sounds like a lot of work, right? A lot of discipline. So why bother? What's the real reward waiting for you on the other side of all this effort? Well, as Rohn explains, the payoff it's profound.
First off, and this might be the most important one, it's not even about the external achievements. It's about the person you become in the process. You become the kind of person who keeps the promises they make to themselves. And that's huge.
Then there's this deep sense of fulfillment. It's that unique kind of satisfaction that you can only get from disciplined, focused effort. It's something that quick fixes and shortcuts, they just can't even touch it. And of course, there's unshakable confidence. And I mean real, authentic confidence. It's that deep-seated pride you feel when you know, from experience, that you have what it takes to follow through on your commitments. I think this quote just says it all, really. The secret sauce. It turns out it's not a secret at all. It's just the ability to show up day in and day out and do the hard work, even when you really, really don't want to. That is the foundation for everything else. So we kind of end up right back where we started.
but with a totally different question. The question isn't whether you can do this. According to Jim Rohn's whole philosophy, you absolutely can. The only real question left is, are you ready to decide to begin?